I've saved this can for a long time. I don't get this size of can very often. Oh, I know what came in. That was those green beans, the flat kind. Anyways, I've had it for a while in the pantry. And I'm going to make it over into a Christmas can. And I'm going to start off by painting my can with English Ivy by Dixie Belle. It's covering really nice. I'm sure it'll need 2 coats. But I'm going to cover this and let it dry and then start decorating it. I do have a label picked out. I only had that one little spot to touch up on my paint. And I went and got this image, and it's from Trailside Designs, and I'll leave the link for it. And I want to put that on the front of my can. So to start with, I'm just going to put some Mod Podge on my image. Alright, I think that's good. I wish that I got something to lay down so I could have got that even. I'm going to guess right there. And this can does have ridges. And now I'll cover the top of this with the Mod Podge. And I'm going to go beside it for a little bit, and then I'm going to try rusting it some. Okay, where do I want to put it at? I need to wipe this glue up. What I can, anyways. Whoa. Okay, we'll leave that about like that. And then I'm going to go finish going around and putting some more on. Okay, I got all the way around. See, well, I got a lot right there. Okay, I am going to let that dry and then I'll brush it back. There are a few wet spots on here, but I'll be careful not to get those because I need to move on. So I'm just kind of wiping some of the rust back, mainly on this here. And I think I'll just leave the rest of it. I might spread it out a little bit. Okay. Now, I'm going to take my brush, which has Mod Podge on it. And I'm just kind of going to go over the cinnamon part. I'm not covering all of it. It'll make different colors. Okay, now I'm just going to let this dry. And I need to go start looking for things to put in my can. Well, I've got a mess of stuff out here. And I'm working on it. And I don't know. But I've got some more things. I think I'm going to try to make a bow. So I'm just going to be playing around, seeing what I can come up with. I've got some bells, orange slice, of course the berries. I'm going to make a bow. I've got some more greenery. And right now I'm just going to work on a little bow, because I think I might want the bow either sticking up here or maybe hanging off here with the bells. I'm not sure. Or maybe the bells hanging by themselves and the bow up here. And I'm not even sure if these are the berries I'm going to use. So I'm going to be tugging and pulling and seeing what I can come up with. I did forget to add that I got 2 candy canes that I got at the thrift store. They're 2 different sizes. I got this one, which is a smaller one. And it says $1.95, but I got these when they were 75% off last year. And as I did these here. And these I paid, well, I don't know what it was, but it was 75% off. It was very, very little. So I'm using those, and I covered those with this kind of material that I got at Hobby Lobby. It was white, and it's not really the normal that you get, because it's darker on one side than it is the other. But I did coffee dye it and turn it a different, you know, the coffee dye on it. I did that so it wouldn't be bright white. And I just covered the 2 candy canes with that. So now I'm going to finish trying to make a bow with all this mess here, because I don't have a very big workspace. I got a lot of these books at the thrift store, and I've done several of them, and I'm going to do another one. I want one for Christmas. I have a little a board, a stand, or what is it? A tray that I made, and I keep that sitting on my stove when I'm not cooking. It seems like I cook all the time, but I have it decorated up, and I want to do it up for Christmas. So I have a little book there now that says Grandma's Recipes, but I want one for Christmas. So I got this image here off of HoneyBeePrintables, and I did resize it, and I made it to where this would go around there. I cut a piece off and then put it here and stretched it, and then just put it back together and then printed it out that way. I don't know if you know what I'm saying, but I wanted like a binding on there. So I've done that, and I think I'm going to paint the book itself collard green by Dixie Belle, and then the pages I'm going to use antique white. So I'm going to get started. I don't know if I should paint the antique white or the collard green first. poly the colored green on the edges. I'm going to try that anyway. Because I'm going to have to get my glasses. Yeah, okay. And the front of the book is going to be, there's a little bad spot right there. So how am I going to do that? It's going to have to be like that. But I want to see. So this will be the back. I can paint, I'm not sure. Maybe I want a different green. I'll put a little bit on here and then hold my... No, that'll be good. That's a good color for a book anyway. All right, I'm going to finish painting this, the Collard Green by Dixie Belle, and then I'm going to do this on the pages right here. Okay, now I am putting a coat of Mod Podge on my book, and I'm going to let it dry, and I'm going to iron my image on with my little iron. And the image, I don't know if I said it, I think I did, but just in case, it comes from HoneyBee Mercantile and Printables, and I will leave the link to this image down below. Well, this is dry now, and I am going to iron it on. Get that even. I did spray the top of my image with hairspray. Down. I think that got it. I'll have to pick it up and go down the spine. You want to get the edges real well. Okay, make sure I got it. I need to get it there a little bit on the, coming down this way. Okay, now I am going to go over it with Mod Podge again on the top. And if I get some bubbling, what I'll do is iron it again after it's dry. Okay, now I'm just taking my finger sander and I'm just cleaning up the edges on this. And once I get that done, I'm going to go with some walnut stain, distress ink. And before I put any ink on that, I knew this would probably have some in it, so I went down the edges of my paper, or what's supposed to be paper, the pages, just to give them a little age. But I'll finish doing this, and then I'll come back and we'll ink it. I've sanded the edges. Now I'm going to take my distress ink in walnut, and I'm going to go around the edges. It's just going to make it pop more. I like to always pull in on the corners. It just makes it look old. And I think that's all I'm going to have to do to this. I'll probably go over the back with some Mod Podge so it'll be sealed, good and sealed, because I stopped here. But after that, it'll be finished. All right, now I want a little gingerbread man. On that tray where I'm putting the book, I also put the can. And I already had this on there. I've done this up in a video, but it had the black with the country kitchen around it. And I've changed it out. And I'm doing the gingerbread bakery and have red around it. And then I just had some plain greenery. This in this little jar that I done up a long time ago. So I changed out and put some Christmas greenery in here. And now I'm going to do my gingerbread man. And all I'm going to do is, I've done this gingerbread, how was it last video? I just painted it, the nutmeg. I believe that was nutmeg by Apple Barrel. And then put it in the cinnamon. So I'm going to do that with this one. And it's just going to sit on the tray somewhere. And that way I think my tray will be all ready to go. I'll do this side, let it dry, and then I'll do the other side. Push that down in there. Bring it up and tap it, and I'm going to let it dry, and then I'll do the other side. And with the other one, I think I sealed it with some spray. I might just use a clear spray, a matte spray on this, and it'll change the color of that cinnamon. And I believe that's all I'm going to do for the tray. Now, I am going to, you know, I'm doing a tree, and I'm doing all the ornaments for my tree. I think I'm going to do some kind of a little gingerbread for my tree. Now, I'm pretty much going to do this one the same way. It's going to be a little girl, gingerbread girl. Got some stuff in that paint. I'm just going to do the arms and the head and the legs, because I'm going to try to figure out how to make a little dress for this. Won't be hard, surely. I might go ahead and kind of go under that, go around like that. And now I'm going to drop this one down in the cinnamon. I'll let it dry also. I'll do the back side. And I'll let this dry. And I'm going to try to put a little dress on it. Well, my gingerbread, I've sprayed them with a coat of the Clear Matte by Rust-Oleum. And they're drying. And I just went and cut out a little piece of material and kind of angled it up towards the top. And I'm just going to do a little running stitch there. But I've got to let that dry. I'll just do a little running stitch here and then gather it up. I'm almost to the end. And I'll just pull that. And then we'll gather it up as we need it. And I'll just hot glue that on there. It's a little wet yet. Just gonna try to see how much to gather it. I think about right there is fine. So I'll tie this off right there, and as soon as that is dry, I will just hot glue it to the little gingerbread girl. I'm going to come, let's see, down underneath here to tie off. That'll be fine one time because I'll be hot gluing it on. Okay, that is good. I'll set that aside for a little bit. Okay, I'm putting that on, and I had one here that wasn't quite long enough, and I recut it. This one over here. But for the back side, that will be fine. So I'm just going to use it. Okay, I'll just run the some glue right there. Kind of even it up with that one dress there. And a little tack there. A little bit right there will be fine. Okay. Glue strings. Even them up together. All right, that looks good. I'll probably get a little bow, maybe make a little bow there. And I'm going to get some wire and make a hanger for it. Okay, I just put a hanger on there and a little bell right there, and I'm going to call that done because it's supposed to look primitive. And now I'm going to do just a little bit of something with this one because this is the one that goes on my tray, and it'll just be setting up on the tray. But he needs a little something on his neck or something.